Hello everyone, Roberto here for another video review. This time we have the new Twix salted caramel. It was only a matter of time. It's probably even been done before, who knows, by Twix. But yeah, with Twix salted caramel. Salted caramel, every man and his dog, every woman and his dog, everyone and their dog has had a salted caramel version of their chocolate one way or another. And Twix is a bit late to the game, you'd probably say, but they're here. And it's a natural one because they do have caramel in the bar. It's an easy thing to do, isn't it? Just add a bit of, well, salt maybe to the caramel to get the desired effect. So there we go. So I'm sure it's more complicated than that, of course, but you know what I mean. Yes, there we go. So yeah, Twix salted caramel. There we are. So before I go on, I've done about 600 videos now with one thing or another, most of them reviews. So if you fancy, if you like this video, go watch my other ones. In one of these corners there will be a link to my other playlist for my other reviews as well. So please feel free to give them a check out, and of course subscribe and like my videos as well. Thanks so much. Okay, back on with this one. So yeah, so like the well, basically, as I've just said, it was only a matter of time. Everyone's doing salted caramel at the moment. It's kind of the flavour, isn't it? It's ice creams, all sorts of chocolate bars have it. Everything. I don't think there's not many chocolates or chocolate selections or anything that haven't experienced salted caramel in some way or another at the moment. So, and of course, Twix. It's basically a two-fingered bar with biscuits and caramel covered in chocolate, as I think you can see on one. There you go. There you are. Here, see there. There you go. That's what it is. So it's basically very easy for them just to add. Or make that caramel salted caramel, isn't it? Really, you would have thought. And since it's such a big flavour at the moment, why not? So I quite like the. I mean, I don't know. I guess is blue the colour of salt? I mean, not really, but it is kind of. I don't know. If I would say it probably is used for sort of salty flavours. You know, I mean, I don't know, in some way or another, isn't it? So I can, you know, maybe mint probably. The most in the UK at least, but I know mint other colours in different countries. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Packaging is okay. It's clearly a different flavour. I think you probably more. I think it was coconut. I would have said. I think coconut is the blue colour I would associate. So yeah. So but there you go. It's salted caramel. There we are. There's no coconut Twix, so at least not yet. Not until that's the flavour of the month. So what does this say? Now normally Twix can come in single fingered versions, and this is the double version. So as I say, it's 2 times. I think it says 4 times 2. Does it say somewhere? Probably there. Yeah, it does. 4 times 2. So there we go. So it's 4 bars of 2. Well, yeah, 4 bars of 2 fingers. So there we go. So what's the official description? Milk chocolate, 36%. Or 35% rather. Covered caramel, 32%. And biscuit, 26%. We have an extra pinch of salt. So there you go. So it's literally just got an extra pinch of salt in there. That's what it says. So milk chocolate 35%, covered caramel 32%, and biscuit 26%. So I don't believe that adds up to 100%. So I could be wrong there. 37 add 26. Yeah, so that's a 50, 63. So there's a missing 37% there. So who knows what's going on there. Portions per pack 8. Portion size 23 grams. So this portion is 1 finger by the sounds of it. So 113 calories, 5.4 grams of fat, 3.2 of which are saturates. So obviously there's 2 fingers though in a pack, so it's double this really. So it's 226 calories, 10.8 grams of fat, 6.4 of which are saturates. So there we go. That's for thinking. And it says suitable for vegetarians as well. Just about. Just says it. Just don't know if you can see that on the corner of the packaging. I'm trying to see if I can see it in the mirror behind, but I can't. It's too small. I can't tell. But it's there anyway. It does say suitable for vegetarians. Okay, right. So there we go. So yeah, other than that, I think the chocolate of the packet's not the best. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. This it says there we go. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. You can see here. Yeah, so you can see on that packaging now. It's going to say it looks like, well, it's saying a portion is 1 of the bars then, but you can see there's a finger inside that packet there saying 1 time. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It's not overly clear, I don't think. Yeah, but there we go. Because it could just be looking like the wrapper with a line on it, couldn't it? So yeah, I'm a bit, and it's yeah, I don't like that really. I think that's a bit sneaky. I think that's kind of implying that in the whole pack is 1 portion. You know, I mean, it's not when you know, but I would have otherwise said that was a pack. Not just 1 finger in a pack. It should show a finger, you know what I mean? Like this. That's what it should show, to say that is 1, not some abstract nonsense. Anyway, okay, obviously once you know, you know, but there you go. I don't like the way the barcode seems to bleed over onto the top. I realise it's probably twisted round a bit, but the barcode is bleeding round onto the top of it there. When I say bleeding, it's just manoeuvred round, but clearly, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Just a little thing, but I don't like that. It seems to, the packaging seems to, on my version at least, shifted round a bit, and I think it's just the way it's been attached on, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but there we go. Okay, there isn't much more to say about it really. It says IMP or MP, imp, get in touch. I don't know what that's meant to stand for, but there we go. Yeah, it gives you some addresses and stuff like that. Mars.co.uk/contest, free post, Mars Wrigley, yeah, Mars Island, get in touch there if you live in Ireland as well. Okay, there we go. So there's not much more to say. It's okay packaging, not the best I've seen. Not overly sure I like the colour, but there we go. See what it tastes like. Well, let's open it first. I want to see what it tastes like, of course, as well, but we need to get there. Right, let's give these an open then, everyone. Let's do it. So, yeah. Okay, very nice. There we go. Nice and clean. So we get in here a tray. Okay, now you can see here as well, I'm going to say straight away that this is, I would say there's no room here for extra bars or anything like that. Now I've reviewed some cake bars recently, you would have noticed. Now of course, did have some flourishes, but nothing extravagant. Well, nothing else to the ordinary. But I mean, you can clearly see here, not only are the flourishes at the top scrunched down, there's no extra space on either side, and the flourishes at the top have been scrunched. This is pretty much spot on the height and width it needs to be. So whenever I review those cake bars that have massive gaps at the top and at the side, this is clear proof that there is no need for it at all. I mean, look at that, it's literally, you can see how the flourishes have been scrunched down at the top. You know, they have been packed in as they need. You know, this is exactly as it should be. So I can commend Twix for that. They've not, you know, I mean, maybe it's because the bars are bigger enough anyway, and you don't need to try and elaborate, you know, make them look bigger than they are. But even so, it doesn't matter. They could have done. Yeah, so you can clearly see that. I mean, obviously there's, you know, maybe a bit, but I think that's really jammed in, just as it should be. So it makes it puts them to shame, really, those cake bars. Well, it does. They've been, you know, anyway, from the ridiculous amount of wasted space in their products, but this just proves, doesn't it? You know, many of them do. You know, French fancies do it as well, but I mean, look at that. Even with the flourishes, they've scrunched them in. They've not made it any bigger than it needs to be. Like I say, it could be convenient for them. It could be that they think it's big enough anyway, but it's not the point. So there we go, 4 of them. Right. So there we go. Let's move that to one side. So there we go. So we get the. I mean, you can say. I mean, you know. Oh, we'll come on to that in a minute. But yeah, we get the packet here. Very nice looking. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I mean, as I say, the blue looks a bit more acceptable here because it's not quite as prominent, I think. I prefer it. So it looks quite nice here. Yeah, but it's still a bit of a. I still would have said it's a coconut colour rather than salted caramel, but it does say salted in massive letters. So there we go. Even so. Now, I say about the flourishes, though. I mean, they are still ridiculous on this product. I mean, okay, they're not. You know, they're well. Once they're out of the packet, I mean, just look at that. It's probably almost half the size. This one. I don't know what to say about this because at least it's not on the shelf. I mean, it does say multi-pack, not to be sold separately, I assume. Yeah, not for individual resale. Yeah, and also we've got the yeah, we haven't got a description on the back of it, I don't think, because that's on the main pack. But yeah, but even so, I mean, yeah, it's not for individual resale, so you'll never see it like this, other than when you've opened it. But even so, I mean, just, you know, I mean, look at that. I mean, I've got to measure this. But, you know, you'll never see it like this until you've opened it, so I can kind of let them off, I guess. But maybe this is the same size they'd use normally, I don't really know. Anyway, it's about 13.5 at most, 13.3. It's a bit of not quite straight on one side, so 13.4 we'll say. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, yeah, massive flourishes there, but otherwise it looks okay. All right, let's give it an open then. So let's do this. So we're at 13.4, we said. So I'm just going to quickly measure it before I forget. It's warm outside, but it should be okay inside. 13.4. It's now 8.5. 8.5. So we've basically lost 5 centimetres there, haven't we? 5 centimetres. It's half the bar. It is over half the bar. You know, it's over half the bar. Over half the bar. But as I said, I don't know if I can really blame them here because, well, hold it against them because you don't see it really in this case. But yeah, it's 8.5 and it was about 4.9 centimetres or whatever. So either way, it's well over half, isn't it? So crazy. Anyway, so there we go. This is what we got. So the width wise on it as well. I'll do that before we. It's not quite straight at the sides, but about 2 centimetres. And height about 1.5, maybe just under. Okay, so we got a bit melty today, but here we are. So you got one of these things. You get 2 of them in the pack. Yeah, so it's got the tie tracks underneath. So again, typical Twix affair, sort of rippled effect. As it is starting to melt in my hand actually, so I'm going to try not to hold it too much. Let's give it a slice. Okay, a good slice there. Biscuit's not held up, but there we go. So yeah, that's what you get. So quite a lot of caramel, quite a lot of biscuit as well. It's not quite a straight slice there. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it's sliced quite well. Because it's a hardish caramel. It's not. I mean, it's soft, but it's not runny. But it is pretty soft. Yeah. So yeah, if I get my knife on this side, I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. Yeah, it's there we go. So it's a soft caramel. Okay, yeah. So very nice. I think it looks good. There's a good proportion there. Not much chocolate, but it's enough. Good millimetre around the edge, all sides. Yeah. Okay, that's can't really smell any salty. Well, maybe a bit. Maybe only just a slight salty smell. Only just. But I think we should give it a taste. So let's do it. Right, okay, everyone. Let's give this this salted caramel Twix a taste. So, it's very nice, doesn't it? Looks very nice. I'm quite excited about it. So, yeah, let's do it. I'm not getting a lot of salted caramel taste actually at all. I mean, I've had many salted caramel products well on this channel, and there's barely any salty taste to that. I'm gonna see. Just gonna take the caramel top of this part. Let's just taste this caramel top on its own. So I've just hang on, I've got a grain of salt suddenly there, which is obviously quite salty. That's about it. So. There's barely any salted taste there at all. I mean, normally with salted caramel products you can almost always taste the saltiness, but this one, I think what they've done, they basically just sort of, I mean, this is going to sound silly, but they basically just added salt to caramel, and of course, which is fine. I think normally the caramel is flavoured with the salt, so it's like mixed in and it's blended together, and all the caramel is salty. Whereas this one, it's just got the odd grain of salt here and there inside the caramel, and unless you manage to taste that, and of course, if it's covered in the caramel, it's never going to touch your tongue generally. So you've got to really work your way through the caramel to get one of these bits of salt to touch your tongue, then you get like a strong salt flavour. But so it happens on occasion. So it's not really salted caramel. Well, maybe it's salted caramel. It can depend. Sometimes that bite then was a bit more fortunate. Yeah, maybe it's all in one end of the bar. I'm not sure, but that one's a bit more. Okay, that's one half of that bar was had no salt in it at all, but that other half was pretty salty. So let's try another one, the other side. Yeah, I think I was a bit unlucky with the first half of that finger. Really, I think it was yeah. The other half and the other finger a lot more salty. So yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's nice actually. It's a nice It's pretty salty actually. It's a proper salty taste you're getting here. It's not bad actually. I like it a lot. I think it tastes really good. A bit disappointed at first, that first taste where there's no salt in it, but I think it's actually a nice. Now, of course, the biscuit and the chocolate is, as you'd expect, it's all the normal proportions and things, and it works quite well, I think, as a Twix. You know, I think that biscuit is just enough biscuit and there's enough caramel, and it's great refrigerated as well. It's a lovely bar when cold. But it tastes nice just at room temperature as well. And the chocolate isn't the best, but it works well together with the other two ingredients, you know, the biscuits and the caramel. And I think the caramel is nice actually. As I say, I was immediately disappointed with this one because the first half of that first thing I had no salt in it, more than 1 or 2 grains. And I thought if that's the way it is, that's a bit rubbish. You've got to really, you know, go your way through all the caramel to find that 1 or 2 grain of salt, enough for it to touch your tongue to taste it. But the other half was kind of full of salty flavouring or salt, and the other finger was, you know, obviously had a bit more distribution about it. So it obviously was just a bit of a weird one, that first finger. Maybe a one-off, maybe not. Maybe it's quite common. I don't know, but yeah, but it's nice. Overall, I think it's nice actually, and the salted taste works really well. I think it's a really nice salted flavour, and I think it's a lot better than a lot of other salted caramels out there. Some more expensive ones, I think, because as I say, you really get the salty taste. Sometimes you don't really get it, you know, you get it subtly, but this one it worked pretty well. I think I'm quite impressed with that. I quite liked it. I think it actually is a good accompaniment to the regular Twix, and I think actually probably elevates it if anything. So no, I really like this. I really like it a lot. Yeah, I think it works very well. It's actually one of the few bars I think where salted caramel really has elevated it to something different, and giving it a really unique taste. I think obviously, I don't know, I mean there's obviously the Galaxy versions and stuff, but they've never tasted that different really. They've had a salted caramel taste, but it's always felt a bit like an afterthought, and never quite, or the other flavours have never really, you know, the chocolate or whatever's, I don't know, it's never worked as well as it does with this one. I think it just really tastes a really nice salted flavour. It's, as I say, and it's pretty salty, I would think, but not ridiculous, not a ridiculous amount, but enough to say yes, this is salted caramel. Whereas I think other ones, other than that, initially it's bad luck I had, I think, with 1.5 of the finger. But anyways, other bars, I think, yeah, I don't know, it's never quite, always a bit too subtle maybe. Never blows my socks off, but I think this one, maybe not, it's probably blown one sock off, maybe the one's still on, but you know. So it's actually done a good job, I think, and not just doing it by the numbers. I think it's done it pretty well actually. It's kind of gone all out for a salted caramel taste. Yeah, don't know if I give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I may raise it as I've tasted a bit more of it as I after this reviewing thing, so we'll see. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 I think for the moment at least. It's very nice. I really like it. Really nice chocolate bar. And Twix is really good anyway. It's a bit of a mundane average bar, but it just works really well together, and it brings it all up to be a better bar than the sum of its parts. And this obviously adds to that even more. So tempted to give it a 5 out of 5, but we shall see. It's definitely it's a high 4.5 out of 5, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens when I come to do the the editing. So we never know. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me to subscribe to my videos, Instagram as well, and what else, Patreon if you can. And as I say, it's always great to hear from you, so please leave a comment if you can. It's always great to hear your thoughts and what you think about these bars and things like this. And salted caramel, of course. Yeah, are you fed up of it now? Maybe you're fed up of it and you don't even want this because you're fed up with salted caramel. I mean, I can't say I blame you really, but I would persevere with it and give it a go. Let me know what you think. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.